Hey there, this is Jennifer with Northwest Stamper, and today I'm sharing with you a new way that you might be able to try exploring bokeh. Now, if you're familiar at all with bokeh, it's that idea of making projects that sort of give you that look like Christmas lights or lights that are out of focus in a background. And so a lot of times you'll see people do things like this, where they'll sponge their background and then they'll use white craft ink or colored inks to make those spots. Well, in this case, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I'd seen this technique and thought it was pretty neat. And so it's where you get these little splotches here in a dense colored area. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So to get started, you're just going to need a card base that is, in this case, it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. And you're going to put it on your grid paper, or any paper, but I like my grid paper just because it's a little bit easier to know what I'm doing. So what I did is I took my crease line, and if you put it here at 6 inches, so it's basically 1 inch above the center line, or you can do it at the center line, just line it up along there. And then I find using a little bit of washi tape just to have it hold down works best. And maybe I should have been smart and figured out where the end of my washi tape was before I started doing this. But I just take a little bit just to help hold this down so it doesn't move when you're doing your sponging. I discovered if I didn't do this, it will of course move while I'm sponging, and then I will be sad. And being sad while crafting is never good, right? Right. So then just take a couple pieces of scratch paper. The important part is they have a straight edge. So I did 1 inch down for my seam, so it's at the solid line. And again, washi tape is great for holding your masks down and not having to worry. Don't mind the kitty in the background. She apparently wants to craft with us too. So, have some here. And then take your other piece of paper, and we're just going to put it 1 1/4 inch down. So 1 1/4 is this line right here. You can obviously do whichever lines that you want. This just gave me the spacing that I liked, gave me just enough room to play. So with that, your setup is done. So just get straight lines. This is why I love the grid paper. You can see on one side and you can see on the other, and life is happy. Okay, so now you're going to pick 3 colors. In my example here, I used Pacific Point, I used Blackberry Bliss, and I used Daffodil Delight. Now I recommend starting with your lightest color so that as you go you don't end up smearing your sponge dauber with the darker colors. So I used a sponge dauber, and you want something that's going to give you a really rich color. So you just start by coming in from your sides, giving yourself, shaking the table, give yourself just some random color. This is going to kind of come out a little bit like tie-dye. That's okay. There's no wrong way to do this. So put on some yellow, and then maybe we'll go with some purple. So our Blackberry Bliss here. And same thing, just swirl it in. Don't be afraid to overlap a little bit. And the important part is just to make sure that it's nice and rich in your color, because that's going to give you a nicer effect when you're all done. So I'm just going to finish putting this on, and then I'll put on my Pacific Point, and then we will be ready for the next step. Okay, now that you've finished putting your colors down, and it may look funny, it's not going to look perfect, but it doesn't matter. The important part is you have rich color down. Next, you're going to take your aqua pen, and it's important that it's a water pen. You want the water because that's what's going to react with the ink on your paper. So I sort of squeeze it a little bit just to make sure that it's moist down to the tip here. And then once it is, then you just go and start dabbing your pen on here. You might do a few little spots, then you might squeeze and let a little bit more water come out. So you'll get different sized circles as you go. And as you'll see, as those spots start drying, they're going to start pushing away the ink a little bit, and so you're going to get these little water rings, which is going to give you that really cool effect. Now I'll warn you, if you do it really close to the edge, it might spread out underneath a little bit, which may not be exactly what you want, but experiment, touch, do a little, do a lot, and figure out what look suits you. And once you're all done, then you can just make sure all the color is off your pen, put it away, and then you're just going to lift up your masks gently. So that's why we use washi tape. It makes it nice and easy. And then you'll have this very cool looking effect on your card. Fun, right? So you can see there, I got it really close to the edge and it ended up spreading. That's okay. If you want to really control it, you can actually take a paper towel and dab it on your water droplets. Now it does saturate through to the backside, but I just think it makes a cute effect on the backside too. And so once you have that done, you can let it dry for a second if you want, or you can move forward with your stamping. So in this case, I just grabbed my Everything Eleanor stamp set. We're going to use this big flourish. And all you need to do, and I'm going to use my little bird too, is just ink it up with some black ink, like this Memento black here. And just stamp it down wherever seems like a fun idea to you. So I just put him here. And then you can take your little bird here and, well, I've managed to, there we go, there's my scrap paper. Ink him up, stamp him on some scrap paper, and then we're just going to cut him out and put him on top of here. Okay, and once you have your bird cut out, I just take the dimensionals, and I actually like to just cut these little half-size ones on the edge. Which I don't even know if I cut that. Yep, I did. Okay. So you just pop him off. Stick it on your card wherever it's going to look pretty. And then you can go ahead and just add a sentiment. In this case, I loved the Dozen Thoughts stamp set. I like how they're all just common sentiments, but not your just plain old happy birthday, you know, in my thoughts, happy together, wish big. They're all just a little bit different, which is nice. And so you can just ink that puppy up, put it down, and you have a cute card. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but that's what makes them awesome. So there you have it. A fun new take on a bokeh technique. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try. Let me know what you do. I would love to see what you create. Thanks so much. Have a great day.